Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another blind let's commentary of. I keep mixing those two up. Blind commentary of Your Lie in April. So I've been expecting this because it's certainly a fun series to do. So don't get me wrong, I really do enjoy the series. It's hard to do commentary over, but that doesn't mean that it's not enjoyable. Far from it. It's definitely enjoyable. So yeah. I wonder what exactly we will see in this episode, so I suppose we should just in proper. So it's going to be a symbiotic relationship, huh? It's her actually helping him get over there. I suppose let's call it just trauma, because that's the easiest way to call it. So I suppose that's the easiest way to call it is that she's helping him get past the trauma. Well, even though she definitely has no knowledge of it at the very least yet. So, um, it's interesting at the very least. I should probably bring this a little bit closer, and I shouldn't I? So I can lean in a little bit for the microphone. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's interesting that she's actually trying to push him to play more. I wonder what is the motive behind that, because there definitely has to be a motive behind her actions. So I just wonder what exactly that is. Interesting. So it's that deeply ingrained. Even though he can overcome it for some brief moments, it still is so deeply ingrained. Like that would have been far too simple. Like I was actually surprised that he was even actually able to play something that simple. Well, it's simple, but you know what I mean. He was able to play something that simple to just help the kids along and even entertain our customers for a little bit. So I wonder what exactly triggered. Like it's pretty obvious that anything a little bit more complex than simple note scribing and uh, anything more complex than a simple child's I forget the word, but a little children's song is enough to trigger him. Now that is something that kind of prodigious name is something that I definitely cannot relate to, considering how bad I am personally. So that is something that I cannot relate to. But it's quite a list of accomplishments at the very least. Like it would be really quite something to have your name known by everybody in the musical world. That would be really quite an accomplishment. Man, I really like the visuals and metaphors, and just the visuals in this show are just absolutely stunning in combination with the descriptions. It's really takes advantage of the animation medium to convey all of the emotions, and it's really effective. I'm feeling it, I must say. 日常生活では何の支障もないんだ。悲しくてもボロボロでもどん底にいても弾かなきゃダメなの。 Well, at the very least, that did an effective job of breaking the mood because it was getting really heavy currently. So it, at the very least, isn't well. It is playing to a lot of cliches, but it's at the very same time trying to break away from those cliches pretty effectively. So the show really does know what it's doing quite effectively. So it is efficient at what it does. I just wonder how they can keep this up for 22 episodes, because that's gonna be quite hard. そうやって私たちは生きていく人種なの。彼女に任命します。 Hmm. Well, if you have somebody to accompany you, or if you're playing along with somebody, you can at the very least hear them playing. So you should be able to comp out of that. So you should be able to play along what they are playing. So it's possible that they also that would make a really good duet now, wouldn't it? Like an amazingly good duet, like one of the more expressive and Yeah. It's good duet, good duo.
椿おはよう。おはよう。
Well, the show is taking on a more comedic note, which is at the very least making it a lot more lighter to watch, which is certainly pretty good, I would say, because otherwise the show would get really tedious with all of its melodrama and, well, basically with just the melodrama and drama just in general. So at the very least, it's trying to be more comedic and lighten up the mood quite a bit. So yeah, that's good. That's good. I give it props for that. Don't know how effective it will be because I'm not easily amused, but it's at the very least pretty amusing. It's trying to be amusing.
だからピアノを弾いてほしい。きっと何かが変わるはずだから。
Interesting. So he has been stuck on that performance ever since. I wonder if performing the same song will actually help him move on, because that would although reliving that trauma might even make it worse. But it's interesting that he kind of is stuck in that situation, at least emotionally speaking. So it's interesting.
これよりバイオリン部門。
Oh, she got off at the hospital. That's an interesting little side plot, I suppose. That probably has quite a bit of meaning. I wonder if that will, at what point that will come into play. Or did I just misinterpret something? I don't know. We'll see.
二次予選の審査を開始いたします。
渡りの言う通りだ。
Man, how good is the camera work in this show? He's just shrouded in shadows and he's just shrouded in light. It's enveloped by light. It's really freaking clever camera work. It's, I don't know, I picked the wrong scene, but perhaps I can show it a little bit here. You can see that just how freaking well this is just framed. Like, this show does such an incredible job with just basically all of the elements of just animation. It's really freaking clever.
言う通りだ。無理か。
So that was an entertaining little episode, and actually got the story moving forward at the very least quite a bit. So, um, it's not that the previous episode lacked substance, but it was that it had a little less context, content, content to it. It just had a little less substance. Well, yeah, substance is the best way to put it. It had little story to tell, even though this episode had quite a bit more to tell and did it far more effectively. And this time they actually highlighted quite a bit of the prowess of the story of the animators that they. It just has me lambasted with just amazement at the talent of the animators that they are able to pull off such good animation tricks like that. Lighting tricks are easy to pull off just in general, but to use them properly is at the very least requires that you pay attention and actually care about the show that you're doing. So it's at the very least the showmakers, the creators of the show at the very least gave a damn at the very least about the show. So yeah, I quite like this episode. It certainly was a nice little episode, and it just generally told the story quite effectively. So yeah, I'm a fan. I like it. It's still moving forward at a very reasonable pace. I just wonder how exactly they can keep this going on for 22 episodes. But yeah, that's yeah, it's really entertaining at the very least, and I like how they are juxtaposing some scenes of more serious stuff with scenes of levity because that's an effective way to break the mood, so to say, so that the mood doesn't just stay all the time depressing and serious. So that people have time for, or that people can actually, move on from the situation and actually pay attention to the whole situation and just, enjoy the scenes for what they are. And that they are able to, that their mood doesn't just stays the same, so that the people can actually appreciate different kinds of scenes at the same time. I'm just rambling here. What I am trying to say is that the show is good. If that wasn't obvious yet. I'm praising the show quite a bit because I had no expectations whatsoever, so it's easier to point out good things about the show. Plus, it's generally better for me to be positive, so I generally like to be more positive than negative. So, yeah. I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. So, yeah. I suppose that's about it. Of course, I could go into the story and what exactly happened in this episode, but nah, that's not necessary right now. Safe to say that the violinist chose the pianist as as her accompanist. So that's basically the big development in this episode, and that's a pretty big development nonetheless. So it's pretty interesting, and I like it. I like that kind of twist quite a bit, and they make a really good duo at the very least, like two prodigious people together. So yeah, I like it quite a bit. How many times can I repeat that? Okay. Well, for now, I just thank you all very much for watching. I hope to see you in the future. Have a great day and stay awesome. Gonna move out. Thank you all very much for watching.